What is up, everybody? It's Matt from the Morning Hookah Show, where we like to talk about hookah in the morning while hanging out in the morning with a hookah every Saturday, 10 or 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, or whatever the guest decides to show up. It don't matter. With a new topic and even sometimes a guest. I am Matt. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host on this adventure. I've been a personality in the hookah industry for many years, working on different things like reviews and videos, content creation, hosting different events. But luckily for me this week, I do not have to do this alone. I'm really excited that I don't have not one, not two, but three very special guests with me this morning. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring them onto the show and start to introduce them. So first, Sally, otherwise known as the Shisha Savage. I've known Sally for a number of years. It's been a fun trip over these. I don't know. It's been what, at least five years or 6 years or so, maybe even
Yeah, I
longer
think
than that.
so.
Crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Sally is also known as the Shisha Savage on YouTube and stuff like that. She's been all over the world in the world of hookah. She's helped out with brands and done reviews for many years and stuff like that. But yeah, she's also helped host way back in the day, back when this was called the AM Hookah Podcast. But I think, Sally, this is the first time we have been together on a podcast. Is that am I right?
You're right. I think this is when you had some stuff going on, and we had some scheduling conflicts. And when Adrian was helping you, and was your co-host, we did a couple of things together. So yeah, it's nice to finally be on with you, the other counterpart. And I've met both of you in person, so yeah, like I'm very fortunate that the hookah community is such an awesome place, and everyone is so social, and everyone's willing to meet. And the past couple of years, getting to meet all of you, so yeah,
Yeah.
super excited about this year that we can kind of touch base and really hang out.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about doing the after hours event, what's going to be going on at the expo in Vegas and stuff like that. But we also have two more guests that I want to get into introducing, otherwise known as Shisha with Neve. We have Neve with us. You can find her over on TikTok and Instagram. She's been working in and around the industry for such a long time. She works with Regal, creating custom, beautiful hookahs, and with many other brands promoting and helping as well, building her own online influence, coming right off from putting on the amazing Shisha Meetup or Shisha Meet, depending on how you want to describe it. She knows the events and what it goes into to creating those events. And it's been an amazing time to be able to work with her and to know her all these years. I drove all the way to California many, many years ago to go to her lounge when it was closing up, and I was so happy to be able to do that. And it was amazing to spend time with you at the Shisha Meetup as well, and to work with you with that event. How are you doing this morning, Neve?
I'm finally recovered after the Shisha meetup. That was a lot of work, but I'm happy to be here. And we had a great time, and I can't wait to talk about that. Matt did so much for us, so it wouldn't have been the same without you. So I'm really glad you're able to come down for that.
It was a lot of fun. I had a fantastic time. It was a blast to be able to go and hang out with you for all that. We got some people in the chat at the moment. It looks like Pamit or Clouds in the Six has stopped by. Moscati
Yes.
is how I like to say it. Is here as well. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
International gang.
Muscoti, he must be getting his haircut right now. He told me he was going to be watching while getting his haircut. So.
Yeah, we got someone in the afternoon and someone in the morning. We got all over the globe. Moscati Hookah is in I'm pronouncing it wrong. How do you pronounce it? It's Muscout? Somebody save me? Walled. All right, we're going to move on. Now we're going to introduce our third guest on today's episode. Also, we're live on Instagram, which I completely forgot just over here in the corner. I'm going to be going off of that one here in a little while. If you want to come find us, go to youtube.com/morninghookah, or you can find us over on Facebook, where we're streaming into a couple of groups there as well. If you're on the Facebook group, which I believe you might be watching, I got cameras in all over different spots right now. You might be noticing something fun that I'll get to in just a minute if you notice that my hands are free. Yeah, so let's go ahead and rock this party. We got, in what I think is the very first time for this channel, we have Brandon from Shisha Beyond Borders. Brandon from the world of hookah, Dark Side, Element. I mean, what don't you know about hookah? What haven't you smoked before? What hookah innovation haven't you tried, seen, or been a part of in some way? I don't think I'm crazy. I think this is the very first time you've ever been on this channel. I don't know how it's taken this long to get you on here, but I want to thank you so much for
Wow.
joining us today. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing well. It's a little bit on the early side for me, but especially for the weekend. Usually like to get my Z's in, but you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Very happy to be here as always. I love you, Matt, and I love what you're doing for the community. And yeah, been in the States for about 3 months now, maybe even 4. And just trying to,
Going by.
I know,
Wow.
hasn't it? It's been crazy. But I'm just, blessed to be back and with my friends and, doing the hookah thing and just happy to hang out and do whatever I can for the community. So, yeah, really excited about this HEW After Hours event that's coming up pretty soon. Us and the team have been working really, really hard to bring the very best for you guys, and hopefully we can come through for it.
Yes, I'm super excited. I was trying to use my microphone in the corner and just turning the gain up, but it felt so weird having it so far away from me, especially because when I smoke, I like to mute my microphone to help so I can easily hear you guys, and then also so it doesn't like rumble or anything too much. You guys are fine. Don't worry about your rumble. It's okay. There's no problem with being unsophisticated, not having a diffuser. Totally fine. I don't judge, okay? It's 2022 after all.
Like adding a diffuser if it's not on there.
We did it with Eddie and Pierre last week, and I hated it.
Them little rubber star diffusers.
Yeah, I can't do those anymore. Matt,
Really?
It's been too long.
Really?
Listen, if it's not built in, we're not doing it.
Thank you.
Really?
If it's not,
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If it's not built in, no go.
I want to hear what other people's thoughts are about adding diffusers onto not previously made diffuser hookah. So I have a Regal, obviously. I have an Apple on Top Carbon 1. They don't have diffusers. I think those might be the only... I mean, I got some old KMs and stuff like that. I have a Syrian pipe recently that I picked up that don't have diffusers, obviously, but I recently got a Viper diffuser. I don't know if that's... I think it's Viper is the name of the brand. They make like purge valves, they make diffusers, all that kind of stuff, and I bought one of those.
Yeah.
And I really like what it's doing. I think that it's really nice. I put it onto my Regal and stuff like that. Is that blasphemy? Am I speaking blasphemy right now, Sally?
I don't think it's blasphemy. I think it's personal preference, just like anything else, And for me, it's kind of like if it's not built in, I'm not gonna bother because, especially with traveling and I haven't smoked hookah in like 9 months, so
As long as you're smoking, then it's
I
all
know,
good.
That's blasphemy. Yeah, as long as I'm smoking, I'm good, and I kind of like the rumble of the hookah.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel like, oh, this is really special. Like, man, I'm alive. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, it makes me appreciate it a little bit because, it's kind of part of the experience. But I mean, the diffuser's nice. It's just not necessary for me.
I can understand that. I can respect that. I can
old plastic little.
Oh my god.
I can totally respect that. I got that. I got where you're coming from. We got Justin in the chat over on Facebook as well. He says, "Hey gang, smoking Tangiers, cherry limeade, and static starlight." Woo! Get another one for the static starlight. You are doing it correct, sir. I'm not even smoking starlight this morning. So let's go ahead and go over what it is that we have in our hookahs at the moment. Are you guys just sharing one hookah at the moment?
No, we have 2.
Okay. What do you guys got going on in your guys' hookah? We'll do that one first.
Let's start with Brandon.
Okay. I currently have Tangiers, obvi. It's the right thing to do when you're at the barn.
Yes.
I am currently smoking Eric's Mango, Lemongrass, and Sour Lime.
Ooh, I need to try that next. What the?
No.
That sounds like a very good mix. Brandon is a hookah hog. He doesn't like to share. I'm just kidding. Brandon,
Ew, why are you being so exotic over
he
there?
immediately shares. Sally, what about you? What do you got in that hookah?
I'm gonna be real with you. This is the most sleep I've had this week, and Neve came and woke me up. So I don't
8:45.
know. I don't know what's in the bowl. I know I got ready in like record time.
What's in the bowl?
I know.
We
So,
have a little bit of extreme cane mint with strawberry lemonade.
How
Only because I'm
nice.
out of pear watermelon. That was my first option. But
Oh, well, then you're going to probably enjoy the mix that I got going on in my bowl. I don't know what it is about this new batch of Alpha Cane Mint, but it is so strong and so good. This new batch of Alpha Cane Mint has been phenomenal. Like I mean, I remember what it was like smoking cane mint back in the day, and this is like reminding me of how much I used to love smoking cane mint. But I put just a tiny bit of cane mint because it's so powerful, and then I did a mix of pear watermelon and
nice.
and Eric's Mango. So I got Eric's Mango. I got
no.
pear watermelon. I got cane mint, all smoking really nicely in this bowl. If anybody is smoking in the chat right now, tell us what you're smoking. If you're not smoking, what do you plan on smoking? Yeah, some fun stuff that we have planned for
I was
sure.
under pressure. I had like 3 minutes to go.
I'll lean
so
over. You're good.
It was that was a tough one.
I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to the folks over here on Instagram right now. If you want to continue the conversation and see what's happening here on the live that's happening right now, head on over to youtube.com/morninghookah, or you can even head on over to Facebook. We are streaming there as well. And you may have noticed that I have both hands in my use right now. Did you notice that? I'm not using a hand to hold up my hose. I'm doing the next level high IQ thing. I've seen this done a few times, and recently I saw Moa Smokes on Instagram pull this off, and I was like, well, I got plenty of mic stands, so I'm going to do that too. So I got a mic stand actually chilling and hanging out with me at the moment, keeping my microphone up, or not my microphone, my hose up, so that I can have both hands free to be dominating in chat and everything else. I feel like I can do anything right now. The world is my oyster. That's what it feels like right now.
Dude, I thought you were gonna pull out like a Dashini gamer hose or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gaming. I'm podcasting. You got to use the mic stand when you're not gaming. You got to use the mic stand for the podcasting. That's how it works.
Nice.
All right, so we have a lot of fun planned for today's episode, obviously. If you have any questions that you'd like to throw into chat, please do that. Afros and Hookahs, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So we are going to be at the After Hours event. So let's talk about what we are going to be doing there, how others can come and hang out with us and join us. But I have some really big news. I have some exciting news, and I'm so glad that Afros and Hookahs is joining us at the moment, because I got to give a huge shout out to Afros and Hookahs right now. So Afros and Hookahs, if you don't know who he is, find him on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic channel, does amazing, great content over here on YouTube and stuff like that. Great reviews, awesome dude. Anyways, he decided to enter into the raffle giveaway. You guys are doing a raffle giveaway for the After Hours event. If you buy your ticket by the end of today is the very last day, October 1st. Buy it today. You're going to be entered into a raffle to get one of three different hookahs are available for these raffle prizes. Okay, you buy a ticket, entered into the raffle, and then what day are you guys going to be doing the raffle? Do you know? Is it October 5th or something like that? It's later. There's going to be an announcement on Instagram. Follow on Instagram, follow on Facebook, all those things. Anyways, Afros on Hookahs is not going to be able to attend the After Hours party in Vegas, but he wanted to enter into the giveaway. So he bought a ticket, and he's having me give it away.
For the support.
Yeah, we appreciate all the love.
I definitely hope you win now.
I do too.
It wasn't rigged.
I feel very invested in Afros and Hookahs, and I really hope that he wins a hookah, because I think this is such a cool thing that he's doing. He's going to be, he gave me the ticket. I'm going to be giving it away on Instagram. So if you're looking for a way to get a ticket to get to the After Hours event, I'm going to be doing a giveaway on Morning Hookah on Instagram. So follow me there. Obviously, you need to be subscribed to the channel on YouTube and stuff like that. But there will be a giveaway that's happening to get yourself a ticket for the After Hours event happening in Vegas on October 14th. So yeah, get your ticket today. Get your ticket today, because October 1st is the very last day to get entered into that raffle. You can get tickets after the fact, obviously, but get it today. So let's talk about the After Hours event a little bit. We'll start just from like left to right. If maybe start with Sally and stuff. What is it that you're going to be doing there at the After Hours event, and what are you excited about happening in Vegas?
Oh, I'm the after events like mascot. I'm just kidding. So I was actually asked along with Neve to handle food and beverages. So my company, Huckleberry Sweets and Eats, is actually catering the party. So we're gonna have some really cool stuff. I have my friend who's coming out with me is actually a professional chef. So we're gonna be getting some really cool eats together. We're crafting a really cool cocktail menu. One of our sponsors is actually a really cool tequila brand. So we're going to showcase a couple of different cocktails. We were kind of brainstorming. We have some fun drink names that we're throwing around. Like
surprises.
Yeah, like I can never pronounce it. But we have like a Packin' with Bracken, Smash, or like the what is it? For Paul, Tita's Coke. What was it? Tita's Jumbo Capanera.
Yes.
Just messing around, like who's the real Eddie, all these inside jokes we have going on, but to really showcase who's hosting the party, because we don't really want a lot of recognition. It's just, hey, we were able to put this together for our community, not just the Hookah University community, but for the hookah community, which is why we'll be selling tickets until even the day of the event.
But don't wait.
But don't wait. Yeah, don't wait. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and you don't want to miss it. And we do have a cap off, so
Yeah.
we want as many people and as many of our friends there as possible. But yeah, we're handling food and beverages, which is very, very necessary to have a good time.
Yes.
I agree. And speaking of beverages, I guess we might as well go ahead and have you guys take the customary bull shot, because this is what Neve is known for. And you got to show off the bowl that you're using, because normally bull shots, if you don't know the history, some people got drunk one time and decided to use some of their hookah bowls and pour some drink inside of the hookah bowl and then take a shot. And that was the day the bowl shot was born. But now we have an actual bowl shot glass. Explain this, Neve.
So it looks like a bowl.
I've never done a bowl shot. This is my first.
It's actually a shot glass. So the bottom is closed right here. And so this whole thing is your shot glass. And so it's a lot safer, less messy, a lot cuter, more functional than the traditional bowl shot.
And more liquor.
Yeah,
And
don't
more
try
liquor.
to pitch
And
in
more
yours.
liquor.
Are you saying who makes these bowl shots?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Who is it?
Yes. So we all know Bracken from Pack Mats. This is his baby, and I was actually able to get my hands on some for Shisha Meetup, and I will also have some at Hookah Expo Worldwide. So come find me and support your friends. And I think it's really cool that the community has come together and something just simple and fun, Yes, thank you.
Pac-Man's at the bottom. Hell yeah, buddy.
They look so cool. They look very, very cool.
So these are called bull shots with
Yeah.
a Z to go along with the branding. And
Cheers.
so far you can't find them anywhere yet,
Lord.
but they will be out soon.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers. All right, let's get it.
All right.
Yes, very, very nice. Very nice. We got some.
Oh yeah, Breakfast of Champions right there.
Yes, this is a very early morning show. These guys are an hour behind me. They might be multiple hours behind you, or in the future, depending on where you're at exactly. But it is a very early morning to start drinking that wonderful tequila. The drinks and the beverages are actually going to be included in the ticket price. The ticket prices for the after hours event is $50. You can find them at hookah-university.com. And you can find the tickets there. They're $50. They come with obviously the chance for the raffle if you get it by the end of today, October 1st. And you get drinks included with that. You get food included with that. There's going to be like a really fun menu with like finger food and stuff like that. And then there's also going to be lots of hookah there as well, obviously.
Feel free though, if you're local or if you have your hookah with you, feel free. It's, bring your own hookah. But we also will have hookahs provided, but that's going to be obviously first come, first serve basis, because it's a lot of hookahs to have to
Haul around. Yeah.
So if you want a guaranteed hookah, feel free to bring your own.
Yes, for sure. So going back to the after hours event, obviously it's going to be October 14th. You get your tickets at hookah-university.com. It's going to be starting at about 9 o'clock, I believe, is the start time that we kind of talked about.
Yes, 9 o'clock.
And it'll go until about 1:30.
So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
It depends on how lit people are getting, which is why we're trying to control consumption a little bit so we can party a little bit longer and be, have our wits about us a little bit so we can actually network and talk to people. But there has been so much work put into this event. Like it was almost working a full-time job on top of our full-time jobs, and not complaining. It was definitely something that needed to be done, and luckily we've built a lot of cool relationships with our sponsors and potential sponsors. We still have people coming in and saying, hey, how do we get into this event? So we've created a lot of buzz, and Neve and Brandon, especially with being in the industry and meeting so many people internationally and locally, have been such a huge part of getting these sponsors in and having those conversations. So I'm gonna let them talk about what they were doing in part to prepare for this event.
Sally is way too sweet. She has put in so much work, and she's actually gotten a lot of sponsors also on board. So it takes a lot of work to explain what we're doing, because this is something a little different than Hookah University has done in the past. But this is going to be a party for the books, and it's going to be the best one, I think, that they've thrown so far. So super exciting.
For anybody that's ever had any kind of experience partying with us in the past, we called it the frat house for a while, and we supported John and his event by using it as an extension of his show and kind of like bringing people together and making it a little bit more intimate. And
Having a place to go after the event too.
exactly, you
There's
know,
no lounge that can hold
All
all
of
of
us.
Hookah University.
All of
no
this
way,
awesomeness.
no way. So you know, we've always like supported the community in regards to like providing a great space for people to just bond and get together, and you know, have a drink or two and just enjoy each other's company, like in a more intimate setting.
Yes.
And we want to continue that. We're gonna tone it down because you know, back when there used to be like a little bit of a rager,
Beer pong competition.
yeah, it used to get really nasty, you know, but it was a lot of fun regardless. But we want to make it like more friendly to the industry as well. You know, we got to cater to both parties, both the industry itself and our local community. So we're just kind of branching out and you know, making it so you know, people are able to showcase their products and showcase like their and you know, everything that they want to do, as well as you know, cater to the community as well. So that's kind of like our different approach that we're taking to it now, and I think it's going to be healthy,
100%.
not only for our community members but healthy for our business as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also healthy for the activism that we do. It really, we as a community need to bring hookah into that better light, and having events like this is definitely going to push us and show, you know, lawmakers that, hey, we're just not some crazy party animals that go to lounges and just, you know, get crazy. You know, this is a social hobby and we're professional about it and still having a good time.
And a huge shout out to the rest of our events community. We've been planning for months, and even before everyone got on board to kind of divvy out their responsibilities and what we wanted to contribute. These guys really put in a lot of work, and you had them on the show last week, Paul and Bracken. Bracken kind of keeps our meetings like going on track.
Yes.
And he kind of follows up with everyone. Eddie is huge with the financials, and so is Paul. Paul has been spearheading this, and we are
So sorry.
we are ever so thankful to Paul and all the time he's put in. Andrew.
You good?
Gosh, who else am I
It's
missing?
okay. Technical difficulties are a part of the show. No problem at all.
Right. Elo's been a part of our meetings. Matt's been a part of our meetings. There's, you know, if I missed you guys, I'm sorry. It's
been
know,
hectic.
We
Don't
literally,
forget Dutch too.
Yeah,
and Dutch. It's such a hard thing to plan a time for everyone to talk with everyone's jobs going on and trying to get time zones correct. And
it's rough.
you know, us on the East Coast, you know, we were meeting at like 11, 12, 1 in the morning. Sometimes it, you know, 1 hour meeting turns into 3 because
we're just getting off of work over here and getting home.
We're just getting off of work, and we really have a lot of things we want to talk about and, you know, really tighten down and batten down the hatches and really like get the organization going. So this isn't just something that we just threw together and said, hey, we're just going to do this after hours thing and just, you know, whatever.
Wing it.
There's
so much planning.
Yeah, we're not making money off of this. Honestly, like what we make is going back into the hookah community, the next year's event, if we have anything left over, and to pay the employees that we've hired to like work this event. So, you know, if you have any kind of qualms about that, about, you know, oh, they're just out to make a buck. We're not. We're literally the community for the community. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. I want to give a big good morning to Larry. Andrew showed up as well. We got Aya Little showing up in the chat as well. We got all sorts of people stopping by and saying hello. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're smoking, what are you smoking? If you're not smoking, what do you plan on smoking later? Let us know. Larry's very excited to see everybody. He's like, oh my gosh, there's Sally and Neve and Brandon. And now he wants to have a toga party. Larry, that's after hours.
Lord.
That's later.
Maybe at the house.
You know, recently I shared a room with Larry, and boy, that he makes some sweet sleep music. You know what I mean?
Larry's a blast. He's a great guy.
Larry sticks around because Sally has a story later on.
I have a story about Larry. So stick around. Dun dun dun.
That man has beautiful hair.
He just has some gorgeous locks.
He does some gorgeous
it's
locks.
Not fair.
I tell you, when he like pushes away from his eyes, you're like, oh man.
And then he does this little like.
We love
oh my goodness.
Nice little hair flip for you.
It's gonna be a fun time at the after hours event. Obviously, we're going to Las Vegas for Hookah Expo Worldwide. Very excited to be hanging out there. This is Hookah Expo Worldwide number 5, basically. There was a little bit of a break during COVID, obviously. 4.5 kind of got everything back onto the foot of what was going to get started, and now we're back into the full swing of things. This one is shaping up to be a lot bigger than the last one. I think it's going to be closer to the same size as Hookah Expo 3, which is really exciting. I'm excited to see all the people that are able to come out, and obviously it's going to be a fun time to be doing that in Vegas. I love Vegas. I think Vegas is a lot of fun to be at and stuff. In October, it's like the perfect temperature, which is also really nice as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see everybody there for the after hours event, especially during the actual Hookah Expo as well. And then don't forget, there's also going to be Hookah Battle there as well. And if you're interested in being a part of Hookah Battle, reach out to me, let me know, and I can help get you set up and organized to do that. There's going to be 2 days of Hookah Battle activities. The first day, there's going to be some really fun stuff involving keynote and speakers and some really cool industry stuff that I'm heading up and getting organized. And then on the second day, we're going to have Hookah Battle Classic, which I will be hosting alongside with the guys from Hookah Battle if they're able to make it out. There's a little bit of a possibility that they may not be able to make it because of all the things that are happening obviously around the world and stuff like that. I'm hopeful that they're able to make it because it'll be a fun time with them. If not, I will be there to be helping out with Hookah Battle once again and hosting that event. So hope to see everybody there. But if you're interested in being a part of Hookah Battle Classic, reach out to me, let me know, and I will help you get organized into that as well. Besides talking about Hookah Battle, Hookah Expo Worldwide, and the After Hours event, because I have the three of you on and you guys all have very unique stories about hookah and stuff, I wanted to spend some time and talk about life in hookah. Let's talk about hookah and the time that we have had traveling around the world to smoke, places that we've been able to go to and able to do something that we did not think that we'd be able to because of hookah. And what I really think is really interesting is that there are mixes that we've probably tried from around the world when traveling that we're not really sure if we're going to be able to try again. So I want to touch on that as well if possible. I want to go ahead and start just throwing out some topics that we can kind of grab onto and start enjoying the conversation about. We'll start with Brandon a little bit, and then we'll kind of move our way down, and we'll go back and forth and stuff. But where's the most interesting place that you have ever smoked? Brandon, I know that you have literally traveled the entire globe to smoke hookah. Where are some of the most interesting places, interesting things that you've done involving hookah?
There's a couple places, and I think I shared all that with Neve in the
Luckily,
past. Yeah,
luckily.
yeah. I think that Hookah Box and Hookah Box Aviator are some of the most coolest lounges that I've ever experienced in my life.
Russia?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you have to have a secret code in order to get in. So if you ever want to make a reservation there, they'll text you a code and be like, "Hey, this is the code to get in."
Go to the phone booth or go to the vault door.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, what?
Yeah. So they and Hookah Box, they have this blast door that's like a solid steel, and in order, huge, and it's really heavy to get in. And luckily, I have a code that I can get in anytime I want to during normal operating hours, obviously. So they said, "Hey, you just use this code and you come in whenever you want." So I was like so blessed to have that. Hookah Box Aviator is more of like the aviation side of the house. So there's like a phone booth right outside where you kind of like pick up the phone and like dial a number, and then it allows you to go in.
Oh, that's cool.
That is very cool. And I think the most like bonding I've ever done in when it comes to like hookah, because this is a very social kind of thing, is definitely our Airbnb.
The Airbnb.
The Airbnb was so fire. Like, we have like 15 hookahs going like at all times, and we're just like gassing up the place. And it was just so fun because we would have people over from that bowl manufacturers and vendors and just all these people that were just really interesting to talk to. Some people didn't speak English too well, but that's okay. We're just happy to have their company and their time. So we would like try new things out. We would just pick up a bunch of random stuff over at Peter Smoke or Smoke Lab, and we would just like try out new things. And it was just so much fun to be able to experiment with those flavors and to like get a feel for what this brand is all about, like the general composition, and to try and make something interesting out of it. Some of the best mixes I've ever had were kind of out of that Airbnb. Like, you really get surprised, and once we get the wheels churning and we start like expressing our creativity, and like being able to experience like how Neve mixes something, which is usually terrible, and then
I'm not going to defend myself. He's right.
I'm messing with you. But when we have these other hookah masters that come in from like that work lounges, or people that have like a big expertise in like Russian tobacco as well as like Tangiers as well, we can't exclude that. And when they create something, it's something really special to me. So those the Hookah Box Aviator, and definitely our notorious Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, just in general, like I've been to some amazing places. Japan has a unique hookah scene. There's some really cool lounges I visited. Germany, great hookah scene. But Russia, still to this day for me, takes the cake. I had the most amazing experiences in Russia, and I can't just name one. You know, obviously the ones Brandon named were amazing, but overall the experience is completely different. And one you didn't mention that I really liked also was we're in this courtyard of like apartments and there's like cars and stuff. And I'm like, I don't see the lounge. And he's, no, not Tangiers. No. And so we go to this little tool shed against this building. And Brandon goes, it's in this tool shed. And I'm like, there's a lounge in this like little tool shed. Like, you've got to be kidding me. You're messing with me right now. Like, this is sketchy. It's the middle of the night. And he's like, no, open the door. And I was like, there's creepy stairs going to a basement. I'm scared. We get down there and the ceiling is so low. The hallway is like so narrow to get to this like bigger room. And that experience was amazing because they had this big wheel with, I don't know what it said because it was all in Russian. And they're trying their best to communicate, but you play a game to pick your flavor. Mm-hmm. And then he came over later and changed the flavor with remember the dropper of
yeah, like it's like almost like the vape juice or something like that, where he would like lift up the tray and like squirt a little bit of juice in there to kind of like change things up.
And he turns to me, and because it was this whole story, and so he turns to me after he does that, and he's like, okay, try your hookah. I didn't know he had done anything, so I try it, and I'm like, okay, what just happened? What did you do? That's the same hole. And he's like, are you ready to take a journey in time? And I was like, what is going on?
You're like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, it was like such a cool experience, and you can't put into words how amazing it was. So, you know,
I think it's basically the passion that single hookah master had.
Yeah.
Right, where he's had the deck of cards where he'd be like, all right, pick this, and he's like trying to play a game with you, and that's kind of cool, like how we would draw these equivalencies towards like speakeasies and like picking out hookahs, where like some speakeasies you don't really get allowed to order a single drink. You get to tell the bartender a little bit about yourself, and because of that story, he will create something for you. So that is kind of like a cool little aspect. You don't get to choose brands. No. You have
you have no clue.
You have no clue what the guy's going to make for you, and you usually have a safe word, which would be like a flavor that you wouldn't smoke no matter what. So we can make sure that it's not in the mix. If it makes you like sick, like for me, like coconut is like my no-go.
Really?
Right,
I don't
coconut.
like either.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I hate coconut.
So I would say, yeah, coconut would be my safe word. He'd be like, got you, don't worry about it. And then he would bring out something, you don't know what it is. And it's kind of like, it brings a discussion around the bowl. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I getting? And it's different. Like each time you pass the hose, you're like, well, I'm getting a little bit of this. I'm getting a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And it's just something special. And I think we need to like kind of migrate that kind of ideology to the States.
Do you think something like that would work somewhere in the States, somewhere that is very popular with hookah, maybe something like a large area like Miami? I know Andrew, our friend who lived in Miami and would tell us all these stories about the different culture in Florida and stuff like that when it came to hookah. Obviously, Vega has a very good scene for hookah as well. So does California and stuff. Could you see something like this idea working in some of these larger hookah areas?
I feel like Miami possibly. LA has a great hookah scene, but this is the one thing. Once they like something, that's what they stick with. So you have Regals with Predator Bowls with KFC. That's it. That's what you're getting at the good lounges because that's what people, you know, that's what they enjoy. And so they kind of stick with that. And so
I was surprised by how much KFC, if anyone doesn't know, Cashmere Peach, Foreplay on the Peach, and Cane Mint is what KFC stands for. And I was shocked. I wasn't shocked. I was prepared for the most part. But everybody in California was smoking KFC. Every other bowl that I would try, like, what are you smoking? And I would take it up and like, why did I even ask? There was no need to ask that question at all.
And it's interesting that you bring that up because that's the Larry story. Is, you know, we were all chilling at Oasis after Hookah Expo Worldwide 4.5 the first night. And, you know, everyone's smoking a bowl. Hookah University people are just like chilling. You know, we're just mixing and mingling. And, you know, we're sharing bowls. So, you know, Larry had a hookah going. And he's like, oh, here you go. And Larry, you know, good guy. Love that guy. Super cool. Beautiful locks.
Love Larry.
My drinking buddy.
Yeah. Super cool guy. He handed me that hose. And Jesus, I thought I was going to die. And here, listen, I'm #4coolgang, okay? And so is Brandon. And we smoke hot. But Jesus effing Christ, do not underline, do not ever smoke with Larry unless you have your own bowl, because there's a reason that man smokes so freaking hot. And he was smoking KFC, and that is the reason I do not like KFC. So I don't know. Fight me, change my mind. I mean, I'll try it again, but I will never smoke from Larry's hookah again unless I am dying. So Larry, love you, dude, but I don't like passing the hose with you, man, because you
Larry told me that the
how
reason
you
why
breathe
he
that
smokes,
fire.
the reason
No,
why
like,
Larry smokes so hot, the reason why he told me is he doesn't want.
like Larry shouldn't even waste money buying hookah shisha like that's already like made and flavored. You should just buy Virginia leaf tobacco, put it in a bowl, and just set that crap on fire. Like that's how he smokes.
Hit it
He
like a
told
crack
me
pipe.
that the reason why he smokes that hot is because he doesn't want to share his bowl. Therefore,
Exactly, and I found out the hard way.
Sure.
if he smokes that hot, no one will
Hey,
want to
that's why
smoke
I
with
love
him.
Hank.
So he does it on
this is
purpose.
But this is a PSA: do not smoke with Larry unless you have your own bowl. So there's a method to his madness.
And
Don't
one
find out the hard way.
with the whole, could we bring that experience here from Russia? I think it would take the whole experience, because there's certain things you could implement, but it's not going to be the same. You can implement the games and them picking the flavors for you and getting to know you and all that jazz, but if you had a lounge like Hotbox, Aviator,
Mhm.
and people have that whole experience of they need the code and it's a speakeasy and it's secretive and the whole theme inside is just insane. They take the theme to the next level.
Yeah.
It's like Disneyland. I think people would appreciate it. It could be done, but not in every area. It would take, Miami
Yeah.
or California, I think.
And let's be real, like you said, people are set in their ways. They know what they like. They smoke what they like. And your rule, your rules. But that's the thing I think that would be really hard for people, is to put that trust in somebody you don't know and immersing yourself in that kind of experience. And like you said, kind of like Disneyland, do it every once in a while, but could it sustain? I don't know if it would be sustainable, but I think it would be really cool for somebody to really like spearhead that and give it a try, because you never know unless you try.
Yeah. I think it's basically like building trust with your hookah master.
Yeah.
And you come to these speakeasies to get an experience.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to smoke your own brand, your own thing, I'm sure that's fine. But, we have to develop this element of surprise, this element of speciality that kind of allows, other people to express creativity. The kind of hookah culture in California is that, they know how to pack bowls and they take orders, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, white gummy bear, you know what I mean? Like, I got you. But
I think with the higher end lounges too that we're seeing in California, specifically LA, we're seeing a lot of really nice lounges popping up that have really nice mixologists that are doing craft cocktails, and the dinner is amazing, and they have Russian hookah brands. So I think slowly, as the time is changing and with the age limit going up, we're seeing people that want quality and they're willing to pay more for it, because that's another
The culture is going to naturally change with the age of hookah changing. It really is. I mean, this used to be something that like college kids would be able to kind of get introduced to and start smoking and stuff like that at 18. But with the age limit being turned up to 21, we're now going to be changing the atmosphere of that and making it something that is more akin to something like drinking and stuff, which, there's crazy people that drink, obviously, and stuff. But I mean, there's also a lot of sophisticatedness surrounding the world of alcohol and stuff, with spirits and liqueurs and cocktails and mixing drinks and stuff like that. So I think that we could definitely see a change in the perception and the way that hookah is done in an overall feeling, because of the fact that the age limit for hookah is turned to 21 years old now.
Yes.
And let's be real, like, all of us, we kind of started out with the fruits, and then we go to mints, and, we don't really like anything outside of that until we kind of mature in the hookah community and kind of become enthusiasts in our own rights. And, now it's like we talk about insane flavors that we would have never thought about smoking. Neve was talking about tomato. You see like Tangiers bacon. There are some people out there who really love it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna bash them.
Nobody actually liked bacon. That was just a meme.
But you know what I mean? Like sage and all these things. Like I remember when Brandon was talking to me about sage like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Like Brandon's the one who introduced me into the Russian hookah market.
think
And
that
this
goes
dude,
for everyone.
Yeah, this dude, like, you have to thank him because he's like the godfather of Russian hookahs in the U.S. Like, we would not have the access that we have now to brands like German brands, Russian brands like MIG, Hoob, Matt Pear, VZ, because Brandon was talking about these places like before they even got popular, and he was really bringing a lot of awareness to them. And he hyped me so much that right before like the first Hookah Expo, I actually bought a matte pair from Peter Smoke, and it was the best purchase I ever made. And it's just like some of the flavors.
Peter Smoke in Russia,
yeah, and this was before Dark Side and Element and all these brands were available here. And I think we were talking about there was another brand, Spectrum, that we were talking about, and they were doing some really cool stuff. And you know, I'm really thankful that I got exposure to that, because you know, who knows, I might still just be smoking off Walker.
If people aren't asking for it, then online vendors aren't going to bring it in. And so we as a community are changing the hookah game, just because you have someone like Brandon saying, hey, I ordered this from Russia, I went to Russia, I tried this, you guys got to try it. Word spreads, online vendors go, oh, okay, we need to pick up that product, you know? And so I think that's what's going to change the hookah community and hookah scene.
I remember back in the day, before the vendors started picking up like Russian product, I used to like organize group buys. Right? Where,
I was in one of your group buys.
And I noticed that these vendors are starting to jump in. They're like, hey, yo, let me try and get some of that. You know, let me try and do this. Let me try and do that. And I was able to get a discount for these guys, you know, because we're ordering a little bit in bulk. I guess we're like 15 to 20 pieces at a time. And
it's opening them up to a new market. That
exactly.
They're not in.
So they actually get, you know, it's not just about, you know, taking everyone's word for it and just picking it up. These guys were actually putting the money down to get these products in hand so they could try it themselves. And because of that kind of positive output, you can't name a vendor that doesn't carry Russian products now, right? You can't. There's a handful that actually illegally carry Russian tobacco, and you know, if it's now, you're able to get it, right? Which is, I'm so happy that people can actually get what they want instead of jumping through loopholes and like reaching out to like individuals in Russia and be like, "Yay, can I get
shout out to the plug?"
Shout out to the plug, right?
Yeah, but you're like the hookah, like you must feel that sort of like warm fuzzy inside when you see what's going on now in the hookah industry and with our community, where you open that door up for us and saying, hey, you know, like my first Russian hookah was a Hoob, and you got me connected to those guys, and you know, it's intimidating going on a Russian website and trying to order stuff.
Yeah, it's super scary.
But like, shout out to those guys at Hoob, like, you know, they make it such a buyer friendly experience no matter where you're at. And you know, the group buys, you mediating, and you know what I mean, like it was so hard to get my hands on a VZ, and
it takes work.
It takes a lot of work. So
Larry says that he's actually smoking Kismet Black Forest right now, and it is a great flavor.
I'm so jealous.
Yo, Larry, I ain't shit unless it's fucking Uruhu. Kismet Uruhu is fire.
What is it? I haven't tried
Uruhu is like Swahili for freedom or independence, depending on how you translate it. So it's such a good flavor. I tried it at TSM. Shout out to TSM. And boy, I couldn't put that hose down. It was really hard for me to pass.
I wish I tried it.
Kismet Uruhu, I don't know what it is, but it is so good. So good. Definitely stood out.
Yeah, Larry says that he had a Rahuhu is great as well. He said that he also had the Shisha meetup. You know, it is so exciting now that we see the infiltration. We've been seeing it for many years now at this point. And beyond seeing all the hookahs make it into the U.S. market and stuff, we're also now seeing a lot of the tobaccos make it into the U.S. market. Some of them finding ways to get in here, obviously, through different means and stuff. But we do have a variety of stuff that we're seeing, which is exciting. You now have the opportunities to try some of these other brands that are worldwide and stuff. And that's something that's so interesting about the U.S. market, is that we have this wide variety. There's no need to stop now, Neve. There's no need to stop. Go right ahead.
We're going to brunch after this, so.
So if you don't mind, going back on topic, so we can. We don't want to keep you online for like 4 hours, which we could, but we're not.
I would love
you need to spend some time with your family. But the most interesting place that I've smoked is probably at the barn or with Hookah John, at the warehouse. Shout out to Hookah John, the Hookah Expo Worldwide. Look at that man opening up doors. I was actually at the first Hookah Expo, and we were actually reminiscing and watching videos for the first Hookah Expo, and it's so crazy how big this event has grown. But having
so many videos last night.
having John pack a bowl for me, or having Neve pack a bowl for me, was so interesting. And it's just like interesting to see like how people pack their bowls, what setups they give you, just the environment that you're in. you know, and also shout out to Kyle Smith from Relics Bowls.
Yeah.
That was another thing, another place that I've smoked that was super interesting because I haven't really been outside of the U.S. to smoke hookah, and I hope to eventually. You know, Brandon's been trying to get me on the Russia train for a long time now to go to Hookah Club show. It just never hasn't happened yet. Yeah, one of these years. But you know, smoking with Kyle, that's actually where I met Adrian for the first time in person, and Jessica Canary and her husband Killian, and just meeting up and just chilling. Like there are times I go to Raleigh and I'm just like, hey Kyle, you up for a bowl? And he'll be like, yeah, come on over, and he'll pack a bowl for me. And he's so intricate. He has this like home theater that he smokes out of, and he has like the coolest setup. He has like hose extenders like through his couch, and he'll set up the hookahs in his office, and he'll have these hose extenders coming out to the couch so you can watch a movie. You can Netflix and chill.
Wow.
Yeah. You literally just, you know, enjoy your time and like not worry about the hookahs knocking over and stuff because it's behind you, like at his office.
That's
so, you know,
I feel like this mic stand is so petty now.
Really, it's like 3 of these. I feel like,
and it's not like
it
weird
doesn't
on the draw?
restrict. Yeah, it doesn't restrict your draw. It's
Okay.
super cool, but you know, like domestically, like I think that those are the best experiences. Like you guys said with the Airbnb, is just when you get together with your friends and
no matter what.
you're like, hey, pack me a bowl. Like I packed Neva bowl the other night, and
Thank
it
God.
was. I really enjoy the mixology portion of packing a bowl. It's like food and beverages to me. It's just the pairing has to be right? But you got to experiment. So I literally walked over to our chain gear stash and I just picked stuff out. And I think I packed cashmere, black cashmere guajaba, papaya sorbet. I said that really weird. Papaya sorbet, dark plum, and a sprinkling of extreme cane mint.
4.5.
It was like, yeah, 4.5. And you know, she was like, "Oh God, what is this? I smell cashmere, but like, what else do I taste?" And
Like,
you know, that's the fun part of it. Is just what's your palate like? You know, you might not like floral, but maybe after you taste the mix that I gave you, you're just like, "Oh, I might need to look into this."
and that's what I love about all of our events is I just kind of stick with what I like at home and make it simple and fast and easy because I'm usually working. But going to these events, that's the best time is going and trying different people's hookahs because you have no idea what you're going to get. And
When
it's
it's
always
not the quick
something
and
unique.
dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, when people get to travel, Larry came back from Germany and has all these cool flavors. So it's like when you get to travel and bring stuff back to share with your friends, that's like the coolest experience because not everyone has access to these flavors, you know?
Yeah, and I can definitely speak to what Sally is saying about being able to travel because, like, I haven't gone outside of the United States either, except for to Ireland, which was a fun and exciting time, and it was definitely a bucket list. I was able to find a hookah lounge to go smoke at, so that was a ton of fun. I just smoked some Alfacher there out of just a knockoff Alpha, but it was still fun because I was seeing the world abroad and stuff like that. But I can definitely say the same thing that you said, Sally. Like going to Hookah John's warehouse and smoking there was like going to Mecca to a certain extent. Like I've been watching his videos for such a long time, and to be in that place and to be there as a representative of the hookah community and somebody that's been doing stuff around it and a personality and stuff, like that's exciting. Like being able to make that next step and to do those kinds of things and stuff, hanging out at all the Airbnbs that we've ever been to is just an amazing time. Honestly, like going to the Regal Barn was like finding your home. Like that was like one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. I've traveled to California. I've traveled to New York. That was a ton of fun. I literally went to New York with the sole purpose of going and smoking hookah. And that was a lot of fun. You know, going to the gala event the THL put on and stuff, like it was just an amazing time. I traveled all the way, almost 1,000 miles just to go and smoke some Zomo because I love hookah. Because I love hookah. You know, that's the big reason why I did that and stuff. I actually have a fun story about going to New York. So I go to New York, meet up with a bunch of people. Really fun time. I got to hang out at Chris, a good friend of ours. That's where I stayed a lot of time. I stayed at this really crazy hotel that was only big enough for a bed.
That
I snuck.
was you.
Yeah.
I remember those pictures.
Yeah.
That was scary.
The room was only as big as you could like stretch your arms out. Like there, it was not. It was so tiny. And I snuck a good friend of ours. His name's Daniel. I snuck him in so that he could spend the night on the floor because there was just enough room to do that. Got way too drunk in New York City. Don't ever ask about that story. You'll never hear all the details, mainly because I don't know all the details. But
we'll ask you at the after hours party.
when I made it to New York City and we're at the Zomo event and stuff like that, I look around the room and stuff and I see one man over in the corner and I see Arby. he came down to New York as well, and I see him smoking out of a hookah, and I'm like, what's this guy doing over here? And I went and sat down right next to Arby because I knew no matter what the event was on, he was going to be smoking Tangiers. So I immediately went over to him just so I knew that I could be smoking Tangiers with him. It was a lot of fun. That event was fantastic, traveling to New York, going to Hookah John's warehouse to smoke, obviously, going to the Regal Bar. And like, these are exciting places as hookah enthusiasts and smokers and stuff like that. So I definitely, I know exactly what you mean when you say those things, Sally.
And I think for us, like some of us take it for granted. I definitely do. And so when we were talking about the questions last night, you know, Sally was like, I told her my answers, and she's like, well, I've been to like John's warehouse, I've been to the Regal Barn. And I'm like, you know what? Now that I think about it, there's so many people out there that, you know, want to come here. They want to see the place, you know, and they may not have that opportunity to. And it's always open to anyone that's traveling, you know. But we definitely take it for granted a little bit. And as enthusiasts, we are really lucky. And especially for us in California, we get to go to these places a lot more than people that don't live here. So, you know, I'm really happy that I'm really blessed that we get to do that. And now Brandon's here, so you're a part of it, you know, because living in Qatar, it was like, you're so out of the loop. It's like, you get to come to Expo, maybe, you know, that's a big trip. And it's like, you know, you have to choose your vacations that year.
Oh man, when Brandon showed up at Hookah Expo 3, I was so happy to see that man and give him a big old bear hug. That was such a great time. When he pulled up into that house, I was just like, oh my God, Brandon! It
made it extra special because of the, you know, the amount of time and effort and money it took to get there, right? So when I got
Russia's cheaper to travel for you, right?
10 times cheaper.
Yeah.
So it was just a blessing to be able to link up with the community, because I just knew people do like my Facebook lives back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to go live like all the
Dude, that
time.
was epic.
And it was like every time he went live, like once a day, it was a new package, a new unboxing, a new hookah, and I'm like, how is this guy doing?
Here's my 40 hookahs. I'm trying to downsize, and then all of a sudden you see like 20 more hookahs that are like brand new, and you're like, holy crap, this guy.
I've considerably scaled down.
This is the Monopoly man. Like literally, like he had so many different pipes.
Every product.
Yeah, every product.
Everything.
So this is a.
Oh, you have a question about that product? I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah. For the community.
Yeah. For the community. So here's another question that I think is going to spur a lot of fun conversation if we can think of one. What is a mix that you had one time? Oh, bull shots. Go right ahead. Go. I'll drink my coffee to you guys. What is a mix that you had one time that you're not sure if you're ever going to smoke again because of easeability to get that, obviously, or just for whatever reason? I'll start.
What? You already heard my story. KFC, you already heard my story.
Okay. Well, no. This is a positive one. This is one that you want to try again, but it's difficult to get. You're not sure if you're going to be able to smoke this mix again. For me,
I may have misunderstood the assignment last night when we're coming up with our questions.
Hater.
So I'm just gonna go with my story because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Go right ahead.
Access to most stuff. So we're in Russia, Airbnb, massive room, all the hookahs going, and I'm sitting near Brandon, and they're smoking, I'm smoking, and all of a sudden this just big cloud just slaps me upside the head, and I immediately ran out of the room. I thought I was gonna throw up. I was like, what was that?
So good.
So I come back. I can't sit near him. I don't even want to try the hookah because I'm like so traumatized. I was like, what is this like sweaty meat taste in my mouth? So you were smoking Bonch salami. I don't know if it was mixed with anything, but I can't do it.
Just charcuterie board in your mouth.
It's just,
so good.
They got it spot on. If you like salami, I love salami eating it, but smoking it was not for me.
Oh my God.
I think it was because you were having salami last night that you were like talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, when we were doing the charcuterie boards with the pickled vodka and stuff like that. Oh yeah.
That stuff's good, but
so
smoking it, you know. And Paul had it at his house when we had our meetup at Paul's at the beginning of COVID. He goes, pick any hookah you want, grab a hose, set it up, you know, pack a bowl. So I'm doing it, packing cashmere black. I sit down, I take a hit, and same reaction. I'm like, who the hell was smoking salami out of this hookah? That stuff, throw the hookah out. It's gonna be ghosted by salami.
Yeah.
forever.
It
The,
goes.
the
so
thing
bad.
the thing about Bon Salami is that it definitely goes to hookah. It's stainless steel, OxyClean.
The thing about salami is
Yeah,
Nah.
it sticks around for a while. Like it takes at least a couple of weeks of like cleaning the hookah out like every other day
Yeah.
and not using it for anything else, for it to actually go through. And I think that's a lot of reasons why brands don't pick it up, like lounges don't pick it up
Yeah.
because of what happens to the pipe afterwards.
Yeah. And for me, like the most unique flavor I tried was Russia, and I don't think I'll have access to it soon, but I really enjoyed it, was Tomato by Sabero.
Yeah, Sabero.
I really loved that brand, and there's a lot of people, I'm not gonna name any names, but they're like, it's not strong enough, blah, blah, blah.
It's light.
So they just came out with their black line, and I really want to see like what it's about.
Let's see if
Because
we can get
I really like some of the flavors, and their tomato thyme,
Fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really definitely a very good brand. I think that it's really soft for what it is.
Yeah.
If you're like really into the heavy,
The flavors
nicotine,
are good.
the nicotine kick, but you can like load the heat on it and it's not going to change anything, which is something that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Except for you're going to get
Especially
bigger
for
clouds,
homemade.
Yeah, so it's really good for what it is. And I remember when we were like stuck at the Cervero booth for a while, just working our way down the flavors.
They had like over 150 hookahs.
There's so many.
Not even joking. One booth, 150 hookahs.
So many.
At
so
an
many.
expo.
Yeah. And their flavor lineup is excellent. Like some of them were repeats, right? Because they don't have 150 flavors.
Yeah.
But like maybe they'll have 3 hookahs with the same flavor.
Yeah.
It was really good, really soft, really fun, enjoyable. Some people might come up and say it's a little bit vapey.
Yeah.
I guess.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's cool. But it's overall it's a high quality brand. There's a lot of like for me, an unsung kind of brand that no one really talks about that I really enjoy is Mongol Group.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody knows a
Never
Mongol
heard
Group.
Of them.
It's basically it's ran by a guy. I forgot his name. Forgive me. It's impronounceable. But it's from Mongolia, and they do a lot of business in Russia. I don't think it's like legal to sell in Russia yet, but they have like the brand floating around, which is really fun. They have a really good base line that's like the cigar only flavor.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best base I've ever had. Like it's really, really good, like unflavored, just regular good quality leaves. And it's really, really fun to smoke. I think that's an unsung hero. And I think it's impossible to get a hold of. So I haven't been able to actually smoke it since I went to John Galliano Christmas Festival when I went there a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And just to be able to talk to him, I interviewed him on my Shisha Beyond Borders channel. So it was really good. He actually went to college in California.
What?
Yeah. So it was really, really cool to be able to hang out with him. Yeah, and connect. It was so much fun.
Larry says that the only savory flavor that they've enjoyed is fried cashew and king corn. He said it takes him back to Thanksgiving with his grandparents. Yeah, I believe it's duck. Yeah.
First of all, corn is whack. It's terrible.
Elote, come on.
It's terrible. Yeah, corn is terrible. It's terrible for you. Okay, there's nothing nutritious about it. Zero.
Oh, I love regular corn.
No.
I mean, you can't digest it, so I understand what you're saying.
It's terrible. It makes the back look terrible.
Popcorn.
No, it's not a good. No.
Like
I mean, I think that's something that I would want to try because everyone was on that elote flavor train for a while on Hookah University. Like I remember people talking about it, like the king corn and like
boiled corn and
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So that's something that I would like to try. I haven't tried yet, but I feel like any dark side, I would definitely love to try again. Like I was fortunate enough for Paul to send out some dark side to me because Brandon's been hyping up dark side for such a long time. Like I really enjoyed Supernova. I really enjoyed Polar Cream. It's just the flavors, like you can't put it into words because Russian tobacco is on a different level.
It's just different.
And like, you know, like Tangiers, American tobacco, like there's something about it, like it keeps you, you know, keep buying it, you know. There's something about it, and there's something about it's addictive. I mean, and it's outside of the nicotine. Well, it's outside of the nicotine. But Tangiers especially does such a great job of how flavors translate into the smoke and how it tastes, and I feel like Darkside does a really good job of that. About hey, this is the flavor that we're making, and this is how it translates, and it really does. Like,
and that's something we don't have access to from our vendors yet.
The beautiful thing about Tangiers and that I genuinely appreciate is not just like the quality of the tobacco itself or the flavoring, it's the feel that you get out of it. You know, the body vibes. You know, when I smoke Tangiers, it just puts me at rest. I can't get that from any other brand. Any other brand.
Wow.
And that's something that's like really special about Tangiers, and
Yeah.
that's always something that I'm gonna appreciate. Like if you look at my cabinet right now, it's like must have Tangiers, and I got some element in there. But like if I want a good feel, I'll always go Tangiers.
Okay.
Always go Tangiers.
I think we all
Yeah.
kind of have brands that we kind of go to for specific purposes. Like, you know, if I want to reminisce and be nostalgic and really appreciate the roots of my hookah career, if I want to call it that, I smoke Alfacher, and Alfacher has been generous enough to be our platinum sponsor for this event. Little shameless plug there, sorry. But I mean, really though, I mean, we were watching old hookah review videos. Like we literally went, like I gave Neve like a history lesson of my career and why I became a reviewer. Watching Jake Jacobson on Hookah Rev, watching Eric Thomas on Hookah Nuka, watching AOJ. And I was like, dude, there's people that look like me or that are doing reviews. Like, what the heck? This is awesome. And some of the stuff that, you know, they smoke, it was, you know, like Alfacher, Starbuzz, Social Smoke, Shiazo. Like,
Yeah.
these,
There was some
yeah,
brands,
and,
there was
you
some
know,
brands that
Fantasia. And there's these brands that, like, you
Shisha
really,
Royale.
yeah, Shisha Royale. My first ever review was Shisha Royale OMG S'mores at the Bring
Please
the
look it
Fire
up.
channel. Yeah, Bring the Fire. Those guys.
Bring
It was so funny.
Best review I've ever seen. Very honest.
And
10 out of 10.
that's where the
Little too
savage came
honest.
from. Yeah, I'm a little too honest, and you know maybe that's why Neve says you know brands don't want to send you stuff, Sally, because you're too honest. You're
I'll
too
send
savage.
you all the samples.
But you know it just makes you appreciate like your history, and you know it's like a hookah education. You know, like you know, it's like going to college.
And
And
then seeing where
really
we've come.
discovering things and like seeing where we're at. We're like you know doing your master's degree and doing your you know doctoral like thesis and just like really looking back and appreciating the steps that you took and the moves and the stones that you had to step on to get to where you're at. Like I would have never imagined
Kiss
being
a lot
able
of
to-
frogs. Kiss a lot of frogs.
Exactly.
Find my prince.
I would have never imagined smoking some of the things that I've smoked, you know, owning some of the hookahs or smoking out of some of the hookahs that I smoked out of. Like who would have known that I would have bought a Mad Pair, a VZ, a Hoop, like jumping on that train when, you know, I started out with like my Starburst Enterprise and like, you know, a KM hookah or like my little pumpkin hookah that I got in New York while I was there back in 2014.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I do appreciate that certain brands makes you nostalgic and makes you really appreciate like your roots.
Yeah.
Another cool thing about our platinum sponsor is definitely when I was at TSM, you know, shameless plug again. TSM
Appreciate
Shisha
it.
Meetup. All right, look
Appreciate it.
it up. Hey George. Good
I'm
morning.
saying hi,
So,
George.
We're at the barn right now, if you guys couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Taking over George's house like usual.
Yeah.
Shout out to our
Shout out to George.
podcast sponsor today.
Hi George.
Good morning.
Kiss kiss. So a cool thing about our
Hi,
Fokker
George.
is that
Hi.
he says hi. They got some exciting things underway, right? That I usually wouldn't be too excited about for Alfacher because the thing is about Alfacher, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
And you're gonna
But
get that every time though.
but they had some experimental flavors that they were sampling over at TSM. That was like, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I like it. So I was giving them my feedback and kind of like, hey, if you want to sell a lot, go with this. You know, if you
Yeah.
want to go for more of a niche, you know, community,
Space.
go with that. You know, and
Yeah.
I just was giving my feedback. So another cool thing about like Fumari they were there as well. Their Falcon Mint is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, not so much
Fucking mint.
yeah, not so much the passion fruit sangria.
I like the passion fruit.
I liked
did
that one a
not
little
like it.
more than actually the mint.
But listen, one of my top flavors is Fumari Mojito Mojo.
Yeah.
That was literally my first ever review on YouTube. And they sent me that first batch that they made. And I forgot to mention you, Fumari. I'm so sorry, Sam. Love you
Love you,
guys.
Sam.
But, you know, they're based here out of San Diego. And
We're gonna
you know,
be seeing them very soon.
yeah, we're going to be seeing them very soon. But amazing people, you know, consistent. Alfacher, Fumari, you know, they're very consistent in their flavors. And I do appreciate that because who wants to like buy something saying, oh, I really like this. And then you get it and you're like, what the heck is this? Like, this isn't what I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
It's so
'Cause, you
important
know-
for that consistency, 100%.
Right,
Because
and
if
we
you're
all
not
know,
getting
like,
it, yeah.
that's a challenge for these brands that are smaller, especially. You know, I remember, like, I'm gonna be totally honest here, like getting batches of Haze or Trifecta, you know, or Alchemist back in the day, you know, that don't taste the same. And you know, you know,
It
a lot
bums
of
you
these,
out a little.
Yeah, it
Alchemist
bums
is the
you
king
out.
of inconsistency. Let's be real.
Yeah, but their OG batch was so freaking amazing. It's like it hypes you up, and you know, I understand. You know, they're smaller brands, their operations aren't so big, and they're really putting a
And they
lot.
were new.
Yeah,
They
and
blew
they're
up
new.
so fast
They
that it
don't
was
have the
like-
capital like, you know, these bigger brands, and they're trying their best. But sometimes the cut is inconsistent. You know, the flavoring is inconsistent, and it happens. But
Yeah.
we realize, like, you know, it's the community really stepping up and saying, hey, I want to try something different, let me make it. And I do appreciate that about this community, is it's community driven. It's not just, oh, it's, you know, I'm gonna make a buck off of this. It's like, you know, like Brandon doing group buys, he didn't make any money off of
Yeah.
it, but he did it and spent the time to do those group buys, so it'll expose us to something different.
And that's the cool thing with these events, you know, from Shisha Meetup to HEW to After Hours, is that we get to meet with the people behind these brands right there, and we get to give them our feedback. And a lot of it, when it's in person, they really listen, you know. So
That,
it's
and
a good brand.
they're listening a lot more now because this community is so enthusiast driven. Back in the day, it'd be like, no, we're a business, we're just gonna sell what we feel like we want to sell. And now it's like, you know, you see all these vendors, and it's, you know, stuff that we actually want to buy.
Yeah.
So in the long run, it's better for them
Yeah.
because they're actually catering to us and not just, you know, your hookah smoker who's just starting out and just like, oh, I'm gonna buy like the cheapest thing.
Yeah,
And
you
it's better
do
for the
need to
growth of the
have the enthusiast there as well, right? Like the casual and the regulars that are going to buy just because they're going to buy are obviously the larger portion of the market. But you have to have the enthusiasts there as well, because we're the ones that are going to talk about these things to help grow different aspects of it. I mean, I think that we do a good job of creating the hype and building on that. If it's something good, it sticks around for a long time. Yeah, go right ahead, Neve. Go right ahead.
That, and I feel like we've made such progression as a community in the US especially, that we, you know, we all kind of joke and
I
like,
didn't know this was
you know,
going
the
on.
enthusiast market is like 1% of the market, right? But I feel like we're increasing that percentage every year with, you know, doing stuff with Hookah Chamber and like creating awareness and just brands getting out there, expo, you know, enthusiasts getting together, meeting up and talking, and, you know, YouTubers and, you know, podcasters like you're doing, Matt, you know, really creating that awareness. Like anywhere you could be in the world, you can watch these videos and educate yourself and just kind of bring yourself up to date.
A really unique experience that we have with the hookah industry is we have influencers, we have podcast hosts, we have content creators, and we're such a small, tight-knit community that in other industries, those people are going to be way up here and the regular people aren't going to have access to them. Whereas we are all friends, we all support each other, we get to meet these people, we get to collab with each other, we get to do all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really cool about us being such a small enthusiast community, is we wouldn't see that in other communities or hobbies.
Yeah. I think that brings another question, is that, you know, we have our tight-knit community of enthusiasts, right? And I think when we increase our enthusiast community, it's by ones and twos. It's not like by hundreds and thousands. And I think, you know, a question I have to like our industry leaders are like, how do we grow that enthusiast community? How do we create new customers?
Yeah.
Right. Which I think Fumari kind of like cracked the code on that a little bit, is that they brought hookah to non-hookah events.
Yes.
Right. They have done beer festivals and things like that where they just set up shop, you know, just give it a shot.
Tastings.
Have some tastings. You like hookah? Hookah can pair
You
with
haven't
beer.
tried it? Come try it.
Pair it with wine. You know, let's see if we can actually do something.
And that's something we need.
That's exactly. I think, you know, we have our enthusiast meetups like TSM and HEW, but the real question is that in order to grow that enthusiast community, we need to put ourselves in positions and places where hookah is not found.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they can see it and they'd be like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the only way to grow the hookah industry and the community and the people around it is by giving it to people who don't smoke hookah. That's the only way to grow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I was talking to Eddie last night, and he was talking about his experiences where he lives, and he's connected with a lot of lounge owners. He's friends with them, and the great thing is he's slowly been able to change the culture of hookah in his area. So out with the quick lights, bring in coconut coals, 80 feet bowls, and they're slowly upgrading just because he's there saying, hey, you need to try this, you need to do this, you
Mhm.
know.
There's something better out there.
Yeah, and for me, being a lounge owner, you know, when we first had open vapor, we had a lot of lack of knowledge. And so going to the HEW and going to TPE and meeting people, you really grow and learn. But some of these lounges don't even know that that's out there. They don't know that there's these expos and conventions where you can go and learn. They aren't looking up YouTube videos. It's just something I'd never thought of until I got really into the groups. And I was like, oh, there's people that make hookah videos? What?
And I think that's our duty, honestly, as enthusiasts. It is our sole duty to bring new people into the fold. Like, I spent so much time last year at HEW 4.5. Tangiers had like a lounge set up where you can go smoke. You know, Hookah John had his little lounge set up. Sitting there, I met so many new people. You know, the time was really short, and you can only talk about hookah so much in a short period of time. But getting to meet people from different parts of the country, I didn't realize so many people were out from Charlotte, North Carolina, where, you know, I'm close to. And just
Atlanta.
educating, in Atlanta, and just these catering companies or people from lounges. And it's our duty to educate them
and bring them into the group.
And bring them into the group. Like, I've connected with so many people in Charlotte, and I was able to actually, the Peace Pipe, which is a local lounge to me, my one of my friends owns it, and he actually used to work for me when we were in the restaurant industry. And it's just cool how you make these connections. And we were actually able to bring out Tangiers and Regal to the Peace Pipe during their Regal tour this past year. And it's just phenomenal that, you know, just a little bit of conversation can bring about such huge changes. And even if we bring just one person into the fold, sounds like a cult, but it's not. Just one person into the fold, that person, depending on their experience, will talk to their friends, and they'll talk to their friends. And then they'll be like, oh, let's check out Hookah John's website. Hey, let's check out Hookah University on Facebook. Let's see what they're talking about.
It has to be a collaborative effort, though.
Yeah, and it's just, it's a continuous learning experience for all of us, but really to bring on new faces and new folks, like, on board. Even if they'll never smoke hookah again, now they have the awareness of what our community is about. It's about camaraderie. It's about friendship. It's about, you know, sharing a smoke and connecting and just talking about our lives and just winding down. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna spend, you know, $20-$30 for a bowl. Like when you go to a bar and you just have a couple of drinks, it's like, it's not for just that. It's a whole experience of bonding with your friends, meeting new people, and really getting to connect. And that's what I think our community is really about, is human connection.
Yeah, that's why everybody should be sharing this video to everybody, not just to other hookah smokers, not just other hookah smokers, but share this on your Facebook pages. Share this in person with other people. Share it to anybody that might even have a tiny bit interest.
You know, my mom doesn't smoke hookah, but she supports fully, and she got so excited. She's like, why are you leaving the house so early? So I set up her computer. She set a timer for 9 a.m. So if you're watching right now, hi.
And honestly, like,
we love you, Mom.
Yeah, and hookah can't be tethered. Like, you know, I said earlier, like, I haven't smoked hookah in 9 months, but I talk to you guys every day, you know, every week, and just planning this event. And, you know, I'm going through, you know, some family crisis issues right now, but, you know, I drove an hour and a half down here because today's my day off from the hospital. And it's really, like, helping me ground myself and relax and really reset myself to deal with life. And it's, I'm not gonna cry, I promise. But it's just, you know, the amount of support that I get from my friends that I've met from this community. You know, Brandon and I started talking like 5-6 years ago. You know, Neve and I met at the first Hookah Expo, but we were talking before then, aka Flower Crown Queen over here, back in the THL days. And
Shisha Sisters.
You know, like, it's been so fortunate to me. These friendships are not fake, guys. Like, they're genuine. Just because you meet somebody.
I go on vacation more with hookah people than I do my own family. So sorry.
But you know, like, these are genuine friendships, guys. Like, seriously, like, Matt, I met for the first time at Hookah Expo. Paul, I met for the first time last year, and I have been talking to that guy for 3-4 years. You know, and it's just,
I'm going to be in someone's wedding that I met through hookah.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm so
Me too.
grateful that hookah has given me the opportunity to meet such awesome people that I would have never met otherwise. So shout out to everybody, you know, at Hookah University, all the hookah groups that have come and gone. I would have never been able to connect with such amazing friends if not for the hookah community.
Absolutely.
I'll cheers to that.
Confidential, exactly. Bull shots to that, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree.
There we go.
Confidential info, I believe, might be somebody's mom. It says, Mama Hookah, you're in very big trouble. It says, Neve, you look spectacular, and hi, Brandon. It was great to see you at the Hookah meetup. and so many new brands as well. I'm not sure who Confidential Info is, but big shout out to them stopping by and saying hello. This has been an amazing talk. I think that we've rounded a lot of really interesting topics, and there's obviously more that we can always talk about. If you are interested in coming and sharing a hookah with one of us and talking about these different things, please come to the After Hours event or any
I know, I
other
feel like
thing
we
that's
can-
happening around the world.
Let's talk more about the after hours
Really
events.
quick, we got
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
more minutes.
Please do. Please do.
So what do we expect, guys, for the after hours party? We got catering from Sally, which is going to be extraordinary. We have a tequila sponsor. We have signature drinks. We have hookah catering that's going to be there. We got industry leaders.
Pool.
They got great.
There's a pool.
We got a great film crew that's going to be there. Dutch Master, shout out to Dutch for being there and going to make some really good content out of that. Shout out to you, obviously, Matt, because you're going to be there, and it's going to be obviously next level since you're going to be there.
Shout out to Elo.
For getting that tequila sponsor on brand and helping us get things together. We put forth a lot of work and effort, guys. I cannot express how many hours that Paul, Bracken, myself, Neve, Sally, the whole team have a lot of time and effort into bringing this to you guys, and we hope I see all of you at the after hours party be able to fucking hang out, chill, smoke, have good conversations about whatever, and I really I know it's going to be a great success because I know you guys are behind it for sure, and if it wasn't for our team, like, we wouldn't be able to pull off what we did.
No.
So
It's a lot.
big ups to the sponsors. And big ups to our ticket holders that are out there buying the tickets and stuff like that. It really helps us out, cover the costs. You're gonna get a swag bag. We got to make sure we mention that. And
shout out to the people. This is I could be wrong, but we have a decent sized number of people coming internationally.
absolutely.
So we have some UK sponsors.
UK sponsors. Who would have thought?
And it's not just one; it's a couple. So it's like this is awesome that we're able to share this with them.
Yeah, we even have like Indonesia coming to the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey,
Yeah.
we're a charcoal company, and we want to send you out some samples and sponsor the event, and tell us what you think of it and blah blah blah, and maybe that might create something business wise in the future for somebody else. Yeah, people that want to like come into the fold and get things going and to like increase our footprint a little bit. I really really am so grateful that we have these like overseas sponsors as well. Right, that are just like, you know what? I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that. Even though that you're thousands of miles away and market share might not be, worth the money, but I'm just so grateful that we have the platform to be able to appeal to the international community as well, right? And hopefully in the future, maybe we'll have some Czech partners, maybe we'll have some Russian partners, which we're already working on, and just kind of like making it a worldwide thing.
Yep. And that's what it's about, is bringing all of us together. And I hope for everyone, my biggest hope is getting to travel internationally. I had so much fun, getting to go to Russia with Brandon and getting to go to Germany with George. So with that being said, next year, let's start talking about these German and Spain shows.
I want to go.
Let's get a group together.
I want to go. I want to be a part of this. I want to go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And also, what your experience is going to be like, you're going to get a wristband at check-in. So you're going to come up to the house. Everyone's going to Uber.
Bring an ID.
Yeah, bring an ID.
Please, God, bring an ID.
Bring your swimsuit if you want.
Please, God, bring an Uber.
We have towels, but bring a swimsuit and a towel if you want to swim. But when you check in, you're going to arrive by Uber. We're not going to let anybody park there.
There is no parking. Yeah, there is no parking.
For safety reasons. If you guys need an Uber pool, do it. It's Las Vegas. There's Ubers everywhere, Lyfts everywhere. So you arrive, you're going to get to the door, you're going to get checked in, your name's going to be on a list, you're going to get a wristband, okay? Your wristband is what you're going to use to make sure you can get your drinks. We're going to hole punch every time you get a beverage. Right now, we're capping off at 4, but the more we talk, we might increase to 5, just depending on how everyone's doing, okay?
1 drink per hour sounds
one drink per hour is pretty reasonable, but, if people can hold their alcohol and we can have a good time without it getting out of hand, then, Neve and I might talk about that and have that discussion. But, you're going to walk around. You're going to see your vendors out there. You're going to see Hookah University members, especially the events committee. We're going to be walking around carrying poles, packing bowls, Matt was very, very adamant on, hey, if you need me, let me know. So
And
if you see
Matt
Matt,
is amazing.
Yeah.
When he says that, he 100,000,000% means it.
Yeah,
He
so if-
helped me so much. So.
yeah, so if Matt's walking around and you need something, like Matt's
Let
kind
me
of
know.
like an extension of our events committee. So
Yeah.
you know,
And
feel
there's
free
going to be a lot
grab
of
one
content
us.
creating happening. There's going to be a lot of interviews, a lot of, you know, reels and TikToks and everything. So
Yeah.
be prepared.
And
It's going to be
please, if you haven't met us yet, or if you don't know us, please come up to us and say hi. Like
For
that's
sure.
like the highlight of our day. When you come up to us and say, hey, we saw you on YouTube. Hey, I've seen you in Hookah University. Hey, I don't know who you are, but can I introduce myself to you? Like, come and talk to us. That's the purpose of this event. And also, we're trying to make this an extension of Hookah Expo Worldwide. Like, without Hookah Expo Worldwide, we wouldn't be doing any of this. So I just want everybody to keep in mind, like, we don't want this to be seen as like a separate event for Hookah Expo Worldwide. The timing of this event is so that everyone who attended Expo can come afterwards and have a place to chill, because
You can go have dinner, get ready,
go have dinner
relax,
and
then
chill
come
with
to the
us.
after party. you
And
know?
it's just, you know, our hookah community is growing and there's so many places that you could go, you know, and we're just trying to provide an extra safe space for us to party and have a good time. And
for a really affordable price.
Yeah.
Because Vegas,
It
you
is
know,
expensive.
it's expensive. Clubs, lounges.
yeah, but please,
You
like,
know.
if you're gonna be in Vegas, like, go to Expo. Like, that's the reason why we're there, is to like meet everybody and have a good time with
Come
our
to
vendors.
the Regal booth.
Yeah, come to the Regal booth. And
We've just released Tisha at the Shisha Meetup, so come try it at
And-
Hookah Expo.
and that stuff is amazing. I actually got some Tisha when
Very good.
George was in Charlotte. That stuff is amazing.
Very good.
But really, like, just it's about camaraderie, right? So come out and say hello to us, and this event, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have a pool. I think there's a water slide, there's a hot tub.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have drink troughs like in the pool, so you guys can stay hydrated while you're smoking. So there's gonna be some water, some soda, gonna be some
Is
cool
John
chocolate
going to
chips.
be there? Is what somebody just asked in the chat. Here's how this is going to happen. Everybody that sees John, go up to him and be like, "Oh, can't wait to see you at the after hours event." Everybody that
Do
sees
it.
him,
Troll him.
Everybody.
do it.
Troll him.
Because
Troll him.
everybody walk up to him and be like, "Oh, John, it's so nice to meet you. It's great to be here. So happy for the Hookah Expo Worldwide. I can't wait to see you at the
And please
after
make
hours
sure
event."
yeah, when you tell him that, say, hey, Hookah University has been talking about coming to Expo this entire time. They want people from Expo to like come to this event and people from our event to go to Expo.
And I've talked to John about this,
That
you
would
know,
be so
because
wild.
there's been a lot of after parties over the years, and sometimes John doesn't make it to the after parties. He's live at a bar, and I get it. So he said he's going to try his best to make it.
But how epic would
Nah,
it be if
make
he
him
did?
be there.
If he
Make
did
him be there.
Sometimes he gets
Kidnap John? Is that what I
Yeah.
heard everyone
Like,
say?
No
there's
excuses.
people
No
like
excuses.
How epic would it be if John did a Hookah John Circle of Friends live from our after hours party?
Exactly.
Like, that's like the roots. Most of us started off in Hookah John Circle of Friends.
I did.
I-
Yeah.
That was my first group.
And that's
Was it
what
my
I'm
first
saying.
group?
Like,
Yeah, that
bring
was
it
my
back
first
to the
group. No,
roots.
no, it was Hookah Enthusiast.
John
Okay.
Nador, I'm talking to you, and I've met most of your family, and I've met you, and you're a super cool guy. Please come to our event, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to come say hi, because we're
Bring
really,
Anthony, bring Renee.
yeah, we're really throwing this event to support your event. So I don't want you to feel like you have any qualms about coming out and saying hello. Like, literally, we're doing this for you and the rest of the hookah community so we can bring us all together.
Everybody on the count of three say, "John,
with
can't
John.
wait to see you there." 1, 2, 3. John,
John,
can't wait to see you there. All right, I'm
We'll
going
do
to
a
clip
bowl
that.
shot, John.
I'm going to clip that and
bowl
post
shot.
it everywhere,
Oh,
everywhere.
What? Yeah, we'll do bowl shots out of 80 feet bowls if he shows
Maybe.
up.
Oh,
I'll do
I'll
that.
bring the bowls.
No,
I'll do
Somebody
that.
bring a bottle of Dow, okay?
Yeah, he'll do a shot. He'll do a
That's
shot
how we'll
of
attract
Dow.
him.
Yeah.
It's just the
Attract for
smell of
John.
Dow in the
Have a
air. He'll
bottle
just
of
come
Dow.
fluttering
Yeah,
We're
over.
just gonna have a
Sponsored.
trail of them to the house.
Yes,
from the
hashtag not
expo.
sponsored.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the Morning Hookah Show. I'm so excited to be hanging out with you guys. In just 2 weeks, it's going to be a fantastic time at the After Hours event at Hookah Expo Worldwide. If anybody wants to find you on the interwebs, where can they do that? We'll start off with Sally. Where can people find you online?
So I haven't been creating a lot of content lately, but you can find me on Hookah University on Facebook. I am one of the moderators and a group expert. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram under the Shisha Savage. So go check me out. And yeah, put underneath.
Awesome. Neat.
Instagram, TikTok, Shisha with Neve, and Instagram, Shisha Meetup, the Shisha Meetup, if you're looking for future events, possibly.
Okay.
Oh, me? You can just find me at Hookah University. I don't do anything else.
Your YouTube was
Shisha Beyond
amazing.
Borders.
It
Go
was
check that
amazing.
out.
Was amazing.
It's coming back.
When?
Hookah Expo
We're
Worldwide
next-
5.
We're gonna be doing some videos now that you're here.
Okay, well,
So
we'll
we
think
talked
about
we
it.
talked
I'll
about
think
some
about it.
lounge reviews.
She should be on Borders. Okay, find me on
Lounge
YouTube.
edition.
All right.
Go look up She Should Be on Borders. All the content is evergreen. It's
And
fantastic
all the
stuff.
videos are
Go check it
amazing.
out.
Like you guys
Yeah.
are gonna get so much FOMO just watching his videos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
and make sure you're there at the Hookah Expo to enjoy the Hookah Battle as well. Like I said, there's gonna be 2 days of events that are gonna be happening around Hookah Battle, including Hookah Battle
The
Classic,
most
which is gonna happen on the second day. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I think that's about it. Any final words?
Other than we're bowing out at Hookah Battle this year, I'm sorry, Matt. We're only bowing out to really focus our energy on this event. But next year,
I understand.
Neve and I are already talking about next year's expo and
Awesome.
us entering next year. So you will. This is not the last of the Shisha sisters. You will see them again. But
Yes.
definitely see us at the after party.
Yes.
Thank you, Matt, for giving us the time and space to like really talk about our event and kind of talk about our individual hookah journeys.
And go
Always.
check out the vlog from the Shisha meetup that Matt did. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
just go
Good
check
video.
out all of Matt's videos because
All
Matt
of them.
spends a lot of time editing and creating content,
He
and
does
we
so much for
appreciate
the
it.
community.
He is such a consistent like presence in our community. So thank you, Matt.
I love being here. It's a lot of fun,
Thank
and
you
it's
for giving us this platform to spread all our
Yeah.
messages on a monthly basis. I appreciate it.
always, and for sure, man. This is great. I love having anybody on the show, and it's been fantastic to have Neve on multiple times as of recent, which has
know.
just been so
It's
cool.
like every time I go on your show, something drastic happens afterwards. So who knows? You know, maybe I'll build a hookah rocket ship to the moon or something after this one.
She's
We'll
gonna talk to
see.
Elon Musk after this.
Ah, I see how that's gonna work. All right, well,
I'll give you a ticket.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and being part of the Morning Hookah Show. Make sure if you're not already subscribed, go to youtube.com/morninghookah and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the video with everybody and anybody. Hit that bell icon so you know the moment that we go live and new videos get posted. Thank you to Sally, the Shisha Savage. Thank you, Neve, Shisha with Neve. And thank you, Brandon, Shisha Beyond Borders, for hanging out with me on today's episode. I appreciate you guys so very much. And until next time, guys, well, I'll see you when the smoke clears. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.